Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie Alves, and today I'm going to be sharing some incredible makeup tips and tricks and some just good old guidance with you from right here in the comfort of my own makeup studio, the Beauty Bar over in sunny Yuma, Arizona. So today I'm going to be talking about what the heck is a dewy finish and why do you want one, or how can you even get one. So I know that maybe you've heard of dewy finish. First of all, let me just start by saying dewy means, it looks moist. Think about the morning dew on the grass, right? If you look at the grass in the morning, sometimes it can just be a little bit wet on top and then it's dewy, right? So sometimes people want that kind of finish on their skin, to look dewy and fresh and all the things that we want to be, especially when we're over 40, because let me tell you, sometimes I am no longer dewy and fresh, and I just want to look like I'm dewy, right? So I'm gonna show you a way to use some beautiful makeup products without piling on a bunch of stuff. But before we get started, I just need to address the fact that I look like some type of makeup samurai today with this robe and this bun. I'm just like, whoa! Sometimes I do call myself the makeup ninja though. But anyway, back to the story. So I'm going to start, I think I say so a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my primer. Now, of course, I have a ton of skincare on. I actually was training one of my makeup artists here earlier today on how to give a wonderful facial, and she gave me the works. So my skin feels amazing. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with some primer. Now I'm going to use a water-based primer. I use this one a lot. You guys are probably going to be like, I see you use that one a lot, because I do. Water-based primers are really easy to work with, and this one is a little bit thin in consistency, so I like it. It's easy to work with. It goes with any foundation, whether it's water-based or silicone-based. And you just have to use a little bit. So right through the middle with that primer, on my eyelids, under my eyes gently. I already have a ton of eye cream under my eyes. I will pile that stuff on like several times throughout the day sometimes. All right, just making sure I've got it patted in. I don't put on a ton of primer, and I used to not think primer was that big of a deal until like just maybe 5 or so years ago. I've been doing makeup for 30 years, you guys, 33 this year. And I hadn't been using primer, and then I just started. I was like, maybe there's something to this. I'm a little slow on the draw sometimes. And I really found that it makes my product, my foundation, go further and last longer. So it's worth it if you got an extra, 3 seconds to slap it on. I'm gonna use my foundation now, and this is a water-based foundation. It will leave you with a dewy finish, like we just talked about. It has an SPF of, I think, 20 in it. Yes. And this is one of my favorite dewy finish foundations because it also has skincare in it. So it's, of course, from one of my favorite cosmetic companies, Jafra. But I also just really love the consistency. It has skincare in it, so it's good for my skin. I trust that it's not gonna damage my skin like a lot of makeup does. So you can see I've just put the foundation on my fingertips, and I'm going with a shade that is too dark for me, but ask me if I care, because I'm going with a golden goddess kind of dewy finish look, and I wanna be tan. I wanna look tan. Now, it's not a blatant different shade. Like, I'm not trying to be 2 different shades, because see, I'm even bringing it down my neck. But it is gonna be a subtle, like kind of tan shade for me. And notice I'm just using my fingers. I'm not gonna use a foundation brush yet, but I will go back through with a brush, kind of double up my coverage. I do typically prefer kind of a fluffier foundation brush. This one is a little more concentrated, but for these little areas that I'm gonna do, I really like it. So just a tiny bit on the back of my hand. Got my hand mirror, because if you have watched any of my videos for any period of time, you guys know that I am seriously losing my eyesight. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a close-up mirror here. Now just going back through the middle where I wanna concentrate a little bit more product. I didn't want a full, big, thick, full face foundation. So I'll just go back and double up just where I want it. Tiny bit under the eyes. I usually don't put a lot of foundation under my eyes, but with this one being a dewy finish, it's really like movable. It moves with my skin. It's really pretty and natural looking. So I don't have to be so careful with it. That's another thing I love. Just bringing it up to my hairline, on my eyelids, making sure I didn't miss any place. And even the places that I'm doubling up coverage, I'm still keeping it really lightweight because I'm just gonna do like a glowing, beautiful look right now. All right, now with a dewy finish, it's up to you if you want a powder. I still will use just a fine sort of dusting finishing powder right now, just to kind of buff my foundation. I don't really want to set it or mat it down because then, you know, it's a little counterproductive. So I'm just gonna go in with this lightweight translucent powder and just press through the middle. So I've got, look how fat this dude is. This is one fat brush. So I'm just gonna press in through the middle on my eyelids a little. And then when I get to the outer perimeters, I can swirl a little, but right through the middle, I tend to press. Okay, haven't done any type of concealer or anything under my eyes, just a little bit of that foundation. I'm gonna stay, you know, natural, healthy looking kind of finish, you know, because that's my goal today. So I don't wanna mat it down and be overdone. I almost dropped that whole powder. That would have been so bad. I mean, I've done a lot worse, trust me. Over the years, you wouldn't even believe the makeup accidents I have had. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my contour palette. Now this is just a really basic contour palette. I love it because lots of options here on shades. I typically just stick with a neutral contour that's not too dark. I'm not trying to chisel my face right now. I'm not looking to really sculpt or anything because this is, again, gonna be lightweight and glowing really is my focus. So just a little bit of contour powder right under my cheekbone. Super simple, just directly under my cheekbone here. And a little by my hairline. Now, I'm not going real deep with my contour like I normally do because I'm going back with bronzer. And you could do this with just bronzer if you wanted, but I do like to take the contour just a little bit to the next level, even when I'm keeping it simple. Just because I feel like I need a little bit of this definition, like under my cheeks here. I've lost a lot of volume in my face since I've lost so much weight. I did like a little bit of cheek on myself, but you know, in order to have a little bit of cheek here, then I have a little too much cheek here. I didn't want that. So probably too much information, but you guys know me, you don't care. All right, so that was just a little bit of contour. You can see it's already kind of added some dimension, but I just put a little bit under the cheekbones, right at the hairline and under my jaw. Simple. Now I want to use this bronze shade of blush. And this is, of course, from the Jafra Beauty collection that I love. This blush is literally called bronze. It's a good pigment level though, so you don't need much. I'm using it back here, under the cheekbones, really kind of going where I contoured, but in a larger area. See how that's really bronzing up? I'm using it almost like a blush right now, but not completely, because I want to go back on with, just back on top of this bronze, I'll add a more peachy look for a sunset blush. It's one of our favorite techniques we've been doing lately here at the Beauty Bar. I'm just bringing this down further than the contour. See, just bronzy, 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 right? And even on the bridge of my nose. I will bring a little bit down here, just because I like to make sure that neck is nice and tan like the rest of my face. Okay, now with that Rose Oro for the next blush, This one is more of a peachy tone, but it's got some gold flecks in it, if you will. Not flecks like, but flecks like there's little flecks of gold through it. All right, right on top of the bronze, and it will just add a little bit of peach into that bronze, so I won't be quite so orangey. That happens to me easy, like even nude tone lipsticks turn very orange on me. And I'll put a little bit on the nose. I'll go right above the arches of my brows and put a little bit of this rose up there as well. So it's kind of just cohesive all the way through coloring, okay? So you can see I'm like Bronzy McBronzerson right now. I don't know why I say these things. Now, I want to go take an eyeshadow brush and use that powder. Oop, I accidentally put that powder away. I think I scared myself almost dropping it on the floor. I was like, I'll just put this over here. So I want to use the powder as my eyeshadow. On my entire eyelid. Now, you know, the purpose of the bronzy look that I'm doing would be like, I'm gonna go to a barbecue with my husband, we're gonna be outdoors, or maybe we're going to dinner inside, but just, you know, wanting to just have this bronzed, beautiful look. So not getting really into a lot of detail, just keeping it lightweight. I'm gonna use the same shade that I used to contour with as my kind of contour shade for my eye. Right in the crease, just adding some of that same brown that I contoured with. You could use the blush or the bronze blush if you want at this point, because we're just adding a little bit of dimension and depth to the eyelid. Especially if you've got a hooded lid like I do, you'll just want to add a little bit of dimension. It gives the appearance of an actual eyelid. And I'm bringing it up pretty close to my brow. That's a mistake we make sometimes. We just keep it too low. We're like afraid to bring it all the way up to the eyebrow. It's like, it's too much, and then you open your eye and you can't see it. So, you know, make sure you're bringing it up higher to that brow than you think you should. You can always remove a little bit if you feel like you got out of hand with it. But, you know, it's just makeup. You can take it off if you make a mistake, so don't be afraid to get out of hand. Now there's a darker brown in this contour palette as well, so I'm gonna use that on the outer corners just to deepen this. And you can see how lovely this is. It really makes my blue eyes pop, but even if you've got brown eyes, a lot of times brown eyes will have a little bit of gold in them, and this will really pop that out. So don't feel like, oh, it's just because you have blue eyes that this works. It obviously would be great on green, but even on brown, this is beautiful. And just back with that dark brown shade that I just showed you. All right, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I can't see super great, whatever, right? That's another reason I really like to do these bronzy looks. You don't have to be really precise. Now I'm gonna take that dark brown again and go right underneath. Just on the outer, I'd say half. Maybe maybe 3/4 of the way. All right, and when I do this, I just kind of sharpen it up because I do get a little crazy with that swirling. All right, I kind of like it. It's looking pretty good so far. Now there's a highlighter in this palette as well. You can see this gold, this bronze, this kind of diamond shade here. I'm gonna go back with the gold shade just on my finger. I usually use my ring finger and put it on the inner corner. Now I'm gonna take the bronze shade. So that's a highlighter that's actually like a bronze color. You could use an eyeshadow that's a metallic bronze, whatever you've got. And I'm gonna put it right out here. Let me come close. I'll put it out here. I'll do a little bit more of the gold. You can see, so I'm going like bronze, gold, and then I'll do that diamond white color. So what has happened is I've kind of faded it over from the diamond to the gold to the bronze, and now you've got the dark brown out here. So almost like an ombre, okay? Or gradient, you could call it. So I'm just putting a little bit of gold on the whole bottom lid again. Not the whole bottom lid, let me correct myself. The bottom half, how's that? Okay, now going with the bronze here again. And this is actually a palette that we carry here at the Beauty Bar. It's my brand, the Beauty Bar. But if you need a palette similar to this, maybe you don't have one, there's a lot of them out there, you guys. There's a Fenty palette that's like this. It's a little on the higher end. Elf has a lot of great highlight palettes. So don't feel like you have to spend a fortune, but just know there's a lot of options out there. So I've got that bronze now, and see I'm just going like this with my finger in between shades. Now I'll go with the gold again, just to brighten it up. Now I'll go with the white on the inner corner. I'm gonna put a little bit more on this one. All right, so you can see this one just fades real nice. It looks super like pro. It's like, oh, look at all that highlight, it's beautiful. And you guys saw I just did these 3 shades with my ring finger. I did the bronze highlighter, the gold highlighter, and then that white highlighter. And you could easily ombre 3 shades if you've got a pink, a gold, and a white, whatever you've got. Or you could just do 2 if you want. You don't have to do all 3. I'm just being fancy, because I am sometimes. Now I want to go back to my eyeshadow brush that I last used the dark brown on and just reblend a little bit. I didn't put eyeshadow on it. I'm just using the brush just to make sure everything is blended in case I went too high with that highlighter too. It's just gonna soften it up because I really just want it like super popped right here. So this will just blend it. Now you guys, honestly, I think that my eyes are in really great shape. I'm 50 this year. I feel like my eyes are holding up really well, but they are naturally hooded. It's just the shape of my eye too. So if you've got a severely hooded lid, whether it's just the shape of them or you're aging and gravity is jumping all over your eyelids and attacking you on a regular basis, don't be afraid to try this. You know, get that deeper shade in there because it will give you the appearance of a crease there, but don't be afraid to try this little pop of shimmer on your bottom eyelid, okay? Just give it a try. You might really, really like it. Okay, so next, I'm gonna use an eyeliner, and I'm gonna use black pencil. This is just a plain old pencil. And just starting on the outer corner, I'll go all the way down to my lashes. Now I'm gonna come close again. You can see how it's right here on my lash line. And I stopped like halfway, kind of disappeared. Now I'll go this way. All right, I want to make sure it's fat on the outer corner though. Especially with that hooded lid, it will disappear if I just keep it right here. If I try to do this little goofy wing, it will just go away when I open my eye. So keeping it fat on the outer corner is really key. You know, in a world where we always try to be skinny, some things should be fat, like the outer corner of your eyeliner. Okay, so fatter out here. I feel like I go cross-eyed when I do that. And anytime you catch me with my mouth hanging open when I'm doing makeup, just means it's gonna look fabulous, because the weirder the face, the better the makeup's gonna look. I mean, have you ever noticed what you look like when you're putting on mascara? It's pretty funny. Okay, so it's not perfect. I don't have like this great wing right now, but I really don't care because my goal was not the details, remember. So I'm just gonna take a small brush and go back and fade it. Another reason to keep it fat on the outer corner, because then you've got a lot of product to smudge. So I'm really just smudging it. And most of you, my friends that watch, know that I usually use a magnifying mirror because of my vision. And I'm not today. I'm using a regular mirror, and I think I'm still doing pretty good, considering. You know, and I think that's another challenge as we age, those of us that are over 40 in particular. You know, we've got to deal with the mature skin, but we also have to deal with our mature eyes, not seeing what the heck we're doing, right? So that's always an issue too. All right, I'm gonna just quickly pop on some brow powder. You can use an eyeshadow, you can use brow pencil, whatever you like. I'm just gonna plop some of this on real quick because I have permanent makeup already, but I get foundation and powder all over them and you can't see them as good anymore. So I'm just gonna darken them up. Especially right here at the arches. Make sure you've got good definition there. See the difference? All right, we'll go to the other side. Just make sure that they're even too, because I tend to make one a little bit darker than the other, which I think we all do that. All right, looking good. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some mascara. I use the Royal Luxe mascara from Jafra every time. This is called Royal Luxe mascara in the shade Blackest Black, I think. This is like a super, oh, Royal Luxe Drama. I knew the word drama was on there somewhere. Drama. It reminds me of, I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Megamind, but when he says the Black Mamba, that's what it reminds me of, drama. I'm a little dramatic, I know. And yes, I love cartoons, kind of weird. Okay, so this mascara is pretty incredible. I like mascaras that have a rubber or silicone wand the best, because I can get a good lift out of them regardless of brand or formula. The wand is super important. So I'm just gonna load a lot of product down here at the root. Slowly bringing it to the tip. Just be slow with it, take your time. And now I'll separate the tips using the crazy tip of this wand. You can see it's a little wacky. Oop, I almost swapped eyes. And just fixing those inner corners. All right, now just sweep out some of that eyeshadow I've got there. I'll do the bottom. I notice I didn't dip back into the tube. I'm still using the same wand. Just lift it up a little bit more. I'm not gonna do false lashes till later. For my after photo, I might pop some on, but for right now, I just want a really great coat of mascara. And I can actually get away with that with this mascara. I really love it. I don't feel like I have to do lashes. I usually just do if I want the look to be kind of next level. Okay, starting at the root. I jiggle it a little bit and then I bring it to the tip. And now I can begin to separate and lift. See that weird face I just made? The weirder the better. Do you guys happen to know why our mouths hang open when we do mascara? Or why you should allow it to? Because you relax your facial muscles. So if you're like, then you're kind of relaxed here and you won't blink as much. All right, I'm getting some great lift out of this. It's because I'm taking my time. I'm not, you know how we always do our mascara super fast? I remember watching my mom when I was little poke herself so many times because she would get going so fast doing her mascara. But I was fascinated. That was my version of YouTube makeup videos, I guess, because there was no YouTube when I was a kid. But I remember sitting in the bathroom watching my mom do her makeup. She was my YouTube. All right, now the bottom again. This has turned out so pretty. I really like how this looks. Okay, I'm gonna grab a magnifying mirror and make sure that my lashes look okay. Maybe I am. Aha, I am. I thought maybe I lost it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hey, hey. All right, that actually does look really nice. Okay, so I'm almost done with my eyes. I'm gonna use some concealer, you guys. Now, I don't normally use a lot of concealer on myself. Definitely for clients, maybe you're gonna get your makeup done for a wedding or for a photo shoot or something important. You know, we're definitely gonna take it next level. You're gonna get some concealer. But for every day for myself, I don't normally use it. I try not to put too much product under my eyes if I don't need it. But even though I have a ton of eye cream under my eyes already, I am going to actually add eye cream into my concealer. So I've got 2 shades of concealer just because I like to work with a couple of different shades. You can always just use the one shade that you like for your face. Never feel obligated to use a bunch of shades like I do. And then I have a little blob of eye cream right there. Just a good moisturizing eye cream. And now I'm going to head in and pick up a little bit of both shade, more of the light though, and a tiny bit of the eye cream. So I'm actually mixing my concealer with eye cream. And I think I have enough on this brush actually for both eyes, but still a ton on the back of my hand, you guys. So check that out. You don't need a ton of product under your eyes. Yeah, I could have actually put like half of that amount on the back of my hand. I like to mix it with eye cream though, because, I mean, why not? But also, I like to keep stuff under my eyes that's good for my skin, and that's the most delicate skin under there. So I'm gonna be very careful with it when possible. We put enough stuff all over our faces that's bad for our skin. So when I can, I'm gonna be good to it. Why did I hear that song in my head right now? You better be good to me. That's what my skin sings to me all the time. My face dedicated that song to me. And see how I can kind of cut my eyeshadow up? I can sharpen it like that using this great concealer brush. Any flat paddle concealer brush is really good to have for this. And then just blend it out. And then I pat my concealer and eye cream together. All right, I really like it. Now I'm just making sure I've got a good amount all the way through, and I even go over my lips a tiny bit with just what was left on that brush. To kind of mute down my lips. That way when I do my lip liner, it will really pop it. Also helps it last longer. Wow, I have a ton of product left back here. I did not hardly use any of that. All right, I want to go ahead and use a lip liner that's a super neutral shade. And I always overline my lips, you guys, starting at the Cupid's bow and rounding it out. But can you see how many times I went over it and over it and over it? Helps it last longer. And now just going up into the actual lip area. It really helps my lipstick last longer when I build up that lip liner. Now, if you have a softer lip liner, you don't have to do it so many times, but this one I know I can go back and forth and back and forth, but I would at least do like 2 to 3 coats of it. All right, and now I have a brand new lipstick. This is another great product by Jafra Cosmetics. This is one of their new lipsticks, and it's a super moisture rich lipstick. This one is the nude shade. Doesn't necessarily have a flavor, but it has almost like a great kind of smell to it. It's hard to describe, but it's really nice. And it's super moisturizing. I mean, like really moisturizing, but not in a way that it's glossy and is gonna come off easy. It's got a great amount of pigment to it. I really like it. Oh, that's even prettier than I originally thought. Cool. I'm gonna check it out with my glasses though. I just wanna make sure that it's even. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. Ha! I really like it. So yeah, this is a brand new one. Like it just came out this month. It's really nice. I love the packaging. The formula feels amazing. I believe this one is supposed to provide like 8 hours of moisture. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. I'm not even gonna gloss it, and you guys know I always gloss my lips, but I'm actually gonna leave it. Okay, so I'm good to go. This look is finished. Oh, no, it's not. Ha! I'm gonna go back and put a little bit of highlighter on my cheeks. I'm gonna use the fattest fan brush you ever seen in your life, which goes with my samurai look, right? Now I have a fan. So I will take some of that gold highlighter that I used on my eyes and just a little on my fan brush. On my cheeks, right at the highest point right here. Can't believe I almost forgot this. Why am I like this? I just got excited. I like it a lot, I do. I'm gonna take a little bit of that gold and go right on the bridge of my nose. I don't do the bridge of my nose as often as I used to since I had actually a skin cancer on the tip of my nose and had to have surgery to have it removed, and now I have a scar down the bridge of my nose, which makes me not highlight it very often, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it just because I'm going for this whole bronzy thing, right? Yeah, I like it. I'm cool with it. I'll do a little bit right above my brows and a little bit on my chin. Now, I usually don't highlight that much, you guys, so just know that since I'm going for like dewy finish, glowy makeup, you know, I'm getting jiggy with it. Okay, setting spray. I actually have a dewy finish setting spray, and this one is the Beauty Bar brand, but you can find a dewy finish setting spray just about anywhere. One that I really like is by Joah Cosmetics, Joah. They have a dewy finish setting spray. I think it's called like Moisture Mist or something like that. It's really nice. But this one is not gonna matte my skin down like some setting sprays would. This will actually like keep that shiny, dewy look all day. I really like it, a lot. Again, with the fan and the whole theme I've got working here. Feels amazing. Making sure it's completely dry. All right, let's check this out. What do you think? I'm super impressed. I really like the way it turned out. Oh, yep, dewy finish for the win. I really like it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, what you think about this look, and if you'd like to try it for yourself. I hope that you give at least a couple of these little tips and tricks I've taught you today a try. I hope you know that I love and appreciate you. I appreciate you spending time with me today, and I hope that I brought value to your day, my friends. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you back here on my channel.